Now, one of the goals of this show is to highlight the amazing people and events that happen in the esports and competitive gaming space, minus Rukari.
Wow.
Every week, we'll try to feature a different personality, minus Rukari, in the space, and this time we have a developer interview with game director and creative director of the popular game. I feel like I don't need to say that. Of an incredible game, you know it as For Honor. They actually just released news about their new content update and the new season this morning on their weekly stream that was on mixer.com/For Honor. So let's welcome them to the show, find out more about the game and where it is headed. We have a full house today. Please welcome For Honor's game director, Damien Kieken. Did I get that right?
Hello!
Hello, and welcome
Yes,
creative
you
director
did.
Roman Campos Oriola. Did I get that?
Hi.
Close, Roman.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Excellent, fantastic.
You knocked it out. You made it happen.
I tried, and then I pointed to my misgivings. Anyway, first off, guys, tell us who you are. Tell us, if the viewers may not know about who you are, a little bit about yourself and some of the how you fit into the For Honor franchise.
So my name is. Hey, can you hear me?
Yep.
Hi. Yes. Okay. So my name is Roman Campos Oriola. I'm creative director at For Honor at Ubisoft Montreal.
Oh wow.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hey. Is it better or not?
Is it plugged in? Yep, you're all good. Damien, go for it. Sorry, Roman. Sorry.
So yeah, I'm creative director at For Honor at Ubisoft Montreal. And basically my role is to oversee all the content produced on the game.
Fabulous.
And I'm Damien. I'm the game director on the game, and my role is to look at all the design made on the game, so conception of gameplay, game modes, but also menus, online stuff, progression, everything.
Safe to say that the For Honor franchise is safely in your hands, gentlemen.
Yes, not only in our hands, we have a full team working with us, of course, but we're helping them to do the best game as possible.
Excellent. Okay, so For Honor released in February last year, and one of the things that we love about the game is that it is so multiplayer focused. You're obviously on This Week in Esports for a reason. Another thing to love is the emphasis on the action fighting genre, which hasn't been done too much with other titles. Talk to us about what went into creating a unique game like For Honor.
So For Honor, yes, it's a new IP that was developed at Ubisoft Montreal. Took more than 5 years to develop. Joined the team 5 years ago now. And from the beginning, it was meant to be a multiplayer game and a team fighting experience. So a lot of the people on the core team came from the Naruto games that were made at Montreal, for example. And the foundation of the game, it's what we call the art of battle. So it's really how your right stick control your weapon. And it's not only a gameplay innovation, it's also an animation breakthrough that allows us to really see clearly all the movements of the character, etc. That really makes that melee combat possible.
Gotcha.
Nice.
So you guys are currently in the 5th season of the game titled Age of Wolves, and For Honor has been pretty consistent in the post-launch update department. Now with Season 6 being announced today called Heroes March, what are you and the team looking for when it comes time to drop another update? Is it more to update the game based on community feedback that you've gotten, or is it enabling the community to do more with the game itself?
So in fact, it's both. We always do many different updates on the game since the beginning. We have like weekly content, we have regular update, balancing update, things like that. And we have, as you said, big new seasons with a bigger patch. So for example, here in Season 6, we introduced 2 new heroes reworks. So what we call a rework is like a rebalancing, but also giving a new toolkit to the heroes, because we learn a lot throughout the year how we make heroes, how we make our game evolve, and sometimes we put that back in some of our older heroes to make them competitive again. We introducing a new map, Beachhead, based on a very famous story mission of the game, and also some new features like the visual collection that is directly an answer from our community.
And of course, we also have a more long-term roadmap for the game. Like we mentioned earlier today in our live stream where we announced the season, we have a multiple year plan in front of us, like 10 years. But
Whoa,
for
did you
us,
say 10 years?
Yes, currently
brilliant.
That's the plan for each live games that we support. But it's not only like planning new stuff, etc., and what we as developer we want to do. It's also listening to the player. So, like for example, one of the highlights of the next season is what we call the visual collection. So it's your ability to apply any visual of a gear that you've previously looted to a new gear that you have. And that's something that was asked from the player directly. They wanted a way to manage better the inventory, etc. And that's for us to provide them.
Well, now speaking of that competitive, that multiplayer focus that we mentioned earlier, and you had just alluded to there, For Honor has seen new elements. We're talking about the dedicated servers, input delay that be added to the game. So, because you guys are obviously never boring, what's been the process getting these into the wild, and more importantly, we talked about community feedback. What has been the community's reaction to some of these additions?
The community reaction was really, really positive on the introduction of dedicated servers and lag compensation. It's when you ship a live game, you always discover things, and you have to adapt as a developer team. And for example, we discovered some limitation on our peer-to-peer model that was especially impacting 4v4 game modes. And so that's why we decided to move to dedicated server. It was a huge change, like 7-8 months of work, full team dedicated only on that. And in the end, it went really well. And since then, we have a very positive reaction from the community. And also, one of the things we do, based on the second part of your question, is that we really put in place a way to work with our community. So we're doing a community workshop where we invite members of the community to the game studio and show them new things that will come in a few months, so that they can react on it, give us feedback, and so that we can adapt that content before releasing it. And for example, input delay is a very good example of that, where we had done a private testing with the community to find the right value before releasing it.
Man, that's awesome.
That's pretty sweet. Now, as we are all about competitive gaming on this show, how can our viewers get involved? Are there any tournaments they should be keeping an eye on, or either to watch or even to participate in?
So since we built For Honor, it was really a competitive game at the core. We wanted to nail the competitive aspect of a fighting game in a 3D environment, and that was really one of the focus on the game. And when you have a competitive game, then it's easy to do the link with esports events and things like that. And for example, right now we're in a situation where the community is doing a lot of events, a lot of tournaments on the game. So for example, there is one, I think, this weekend that is managed by the 4 Glory members, and they're organizing tournaments themselves, and we support that by advertising it during our show and things like that.
Nice. That's excellent. Well, guys, a huge thank you to Damien and Roman, to your just hearing talk there. Where can people find you and your work? If obviously they can play For Honor, and do you have any special shout outs?
So first, For Honor is on free weekend this weekend. So if you want to come and join and play the game, it's the best time to do it. Then we do what we call a Warriors Den. So every week we have a stream where we discuss about upcoming things into the game, where we do live Q&A with our community, things like that. So it's every Thursday, and it's on Mixer as well. So you should come and check it out. And we're available on Twitter. You will find us by just typing our names if you want to ask us direct questions on the game.
Fabulous.
Next month at E3, maybe you will hear new stuff about us. We'll see.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was that just a tease?
Yeah, right. No, it wasn't a tease. That was maybe.
Not
at all.
Oh, no.
That's no suggestion.
Well, I, for one, am very excited for said E3 non-tease. So thank you guys very, very much for giving up your time. I know you're super busy, and we really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.
See you.
I love when developers, when the actual people that are going in and been building and writing the code are interested in the person who's going to win with the tournament, person who's going to play in a free play. I love the community.
Mm-hmm. It's almost like I have a whole entire career that's been going on for the better part of a decade based on entirely that.
Oops.
So yeah, no, I totally get it. It is a breath of fresh air.
Isn't it though? Isn't it?
Absolutely.